Welcome back, guys, to Cybergamer Autumn Finals here, and the best 8 teams from the ladder are competing. We're into the semi-finals now with a best of 3 between Mindfreak taking on Avant.
Yeah, we're already into the picks and ban here. My name is Menace, joined by Place for my first match of the day. Looking forward to plenty more. This one's going to be a corker. Mindfreak and Avant. Lots on the line here for both teams. The winner of this best of 3 making it through to the finals and securing their spot. Obviously, you want to win that last final match.
Absolutely.
Get you a bit better seeding.
Yeah, and the big thing here is Mindfreak going into this one as hot favourites, done fantastically in ACL last weekend. Still have to play the rest of their matches though, so it's going to be interesting to see how that unfolds. Bans are coming out strong though. Greg's and Lulu banned out by Mindfreak.
Yeah, over there for Avant, they've taken away the Yasuo and Kassadin. Obviously, a purple side Kassadin is going to be what's banned out every game for the rest of the day.
Yeah, and obviously that one targeted to Choo-Choo's. Choo-Choo's fantastic mid laner as well. Via the next ban from there, Mindfreak banning that one out.
It's not so much at Kassadin. Well, I guess Kassadin is a targeted ban, obviously, for the mid lane, but it doesn't matter who is on that mid lane. They can confidently play Kassadin. He just is such a snowball champion. You do not want to verse him. And the last ban for Avant going to be coming out now. 2 already focused that mid lane. Elise on the board. Lots of big champions. And LeBlanc actually taken away. So 3 mid lane bans here. Choo-Choo's not much wiggle room here, I should say.
Well, they've left the Elise open and they're going to lock that straight in. Carmen, he's got to be happy with that Elise pick.
Elise is very strong, and it's something Avant have really considered here, feeling that the Blanc on the Choo-Choos is something that is more of a priority than that Elise, giving Mindfreak the first pick up on that Elise, and it's already looking strong for them. Renekton and Thresh, though, being picked up for Nex and Teals over on Avant.
Yeah, and Teal's going to be so happy with that Thresh. Big comfort pick for him. It's up there in his top 3 champions most played throughout the season, and definitely in competitive play as well. Sivir locked in, though, from Mindfreak. I love that pick.
Yeah, On the Hunt is such a good ability to be using for escape and engagements as well. There's a lot, actually, already over for Mindfreak in terms of hard engage with Cocoon Elise, as well as the Shyvana going to dive in very quickly with the Dragon's Rage.
Yes.
Over there for Avant, though, the 3rd and 4th picks coming out.
Yeah, and I like this. They're looking like they're going to take that Ziggs, they lock it in, and that's a huge counter pick, a target pick against Choo-Choo's, because, man, Choo-Choo's Ziggs is so scary to be up against. Taking that one away, love it.
So Intrepid on that mid lane, new to the mid lane run for Avant. Taking away that the Ziggs. What will Choo-Choo's pick? He's got the opportunity here for a bit of a counter pick going on. Looks like a very poke-orientated composition coming from Avant, creating picks with the Death Sentence, followed up with some nice bombs and built-over Peacemakers from Caitlyn, could create a bit of an advantage for Avant in the team fights. It's now up to Mindfreak to try and counter-pick that sort of engage. We've got Zed there being hovered over by Choo-Choo's.
Yeah, so this is an interesting one, especially if it's up against that Ziggs. It's going to take a lot of poke, but as you said, AV are looking for a poke comp right here, and it's kind of interesting because Intrepid are obviously a new player for them right here. He was their coach/sub beforehand, so it's going to be interesting to see this one unfold.
All right, last pick here coming out from Mindfreak. Looking at a Leona, very strong bottom lane. Leona Sivir has lots of engage there, and tanking is coming from Leona, but there's that disadvantage of having the melee support against someone like Thresh, who has the Flay ability, which gives his auto attacks a little bit more in power, and Leona really going to take a lot of poke if she wants to engage. Avant, though, hovering over a Skarner at the moment. Now, he's recently been reworked. If Avant can use it successfully, I'm interested to see what they can do with it.
Yeah, so of course his E now slows instead of the Q. Q gives him attack speed buff. Really, they've kind of turned Skarner into this completely new champion here. If this is locked in, I mean, it's still just hovered right now. I don't know what to make of it.
Neither do I, because we haven't really seen it used that much in competitive play, especially around Oceania. AV putting us on the spot, and it would be something the Mindfreak are not too sure of yet either. I'm not exactly privy to how much their jungler or any of the players, for that matter, have played. He's just trolling us. So it's a Nocturne, looks like at the end here. 9 seconds to go. Teals going to lock in that possible. The jungle, there it is. It is a Nocturne for Avant. There is both teams lined up for this semi-final.
Yeah, and I love that Nocturne pick as well. It's going to be awesome to see from Profound. We've seen him play it a bunch as well. How do you think that Nocturne is going to synergize with the rest of his team, though?
There's a lot of global, or 2 global ultis here. When you say global, Ziggs has got a lot of range. Close enough. There is just a lot of long-range engage from Nocturne as well as Ziggs. It all comes down to how you're going to build that Nocturne. We have, on Avant side, a very tanky top lane in Renekton, especially, and against Shyvana, he's going to be building that Spirit's Visage. So he'll be going straight for the magic resist route, but how that's going to hold up in terms of playing against Choo Choo's on Zed, who has so much delete possibilities there for him, is interesting. The Nocturne, how that works into the composition, I don't know. Like I said, it's going to be a matter of how he builds that Nocturne, whether it's aggressive or a more tank build.
Yeah, and I like that point about Choo Choo's, especially with all of that deleting potential on the Zed. And you take a look at Mindfreak, they've also picked up the Sivir, so they have a really good disengage skill there. That's kind of interesting. How do we expect that to unfold in the game?
Well, coupled in with a Solar Flare, you can do a lot of things with it. It just has so much potential for disengage and engage. Solar Flare can stop most of the enemy team in its tracks, especially with Caitlyn's range. Like the Solar Flare kind of can reach that backline and just stop her for a moment. And really, with the composition that Mindfreak have, they can use that Solar Flare to pretty much leap over the top of the front line from Avant Garde and try and delete the Caitlyn. And that is where Choo Choo's is going to come into this big time.
Yeah, so going back to basics here though, we take a look at the bottom lane, and Leona was picked into the Thresh, and it's kind of interesting because usually we see Thresh as the counter pick to Leona, yet here we are seeing yet again Leona picked into Thresh.
Well, they wanted to grab that Thresh nice and early, take it away from Erect Gymnast because he's also a competent player, but it's something that Teals really enjoys playing. Down there with Smiley Face, we know these boys are in the house there. They play so much together. Yeah. It's something of comfort for them to grab Caitlyn, who's very safe, with the Lantern available from Thresh. It's going to be very difficult for Mindfreak to pick up a kill here in the bottom lane.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, AV, such a strong bottom lane. Smiley Face is an all-star carry. Got to be up there in, probably the top 3 AD carries, maybe top 4. It's really tough when you get up there. That's the thing. How's Shots going to be faring in this lane?
Shots is going to have a hard time. Sivir's range is a lot shorter, obviously, than Caitlyn's. And she does have a lot of poke potential there, so I just think that in the early game, it's going to be Avant Garde on top.
Absolutely.
Looking at the teams as a whole, though, I really do like Mindfreak's lineup. When they start grouping and playing together, a lot of coordination is going to be needed, and we've seen that displayed from these boys before. They're high-tier players. They can do this. They can get into that back line. A nice landed Cocoon, as well as a Death Mark from Zed, is going to turn a fight into pretty much a 4v5 instantly, especially if Nocturne doesn't build tanky enough. He is going to be looking to land the fears on Sivir, even though she does have that spell shield there. Once I guess that's kind of like really a counter for Nocturne.
Absolutely.
The spell shield. Once you have that fear being channeled onto you from Nocturne, you can just instantly spell shield it, and it really just changes things around. But like I was saying, Mindfreak, good lineup, a lot of backline penetration they have. I think they're going to come out on top.
Well, it's going to be interesting to watch. 30 seconds on the clock until we get into this loading screen. And then the game, of course, this is the second best of 3 of the day. We're in the semi-finals, the round of 4. And it's Mindfreak taking on AV right here in game number 1. And of course, in the first best 3 of the day, we were expecting game number 1 to be pretty intense. Very quick action coming out, but turned out to be the complete opposite. Long game. First blood didn't come out until after 20 minutes. Yeah. What are we expecting this time around?
Same sort of deal, I think. Because there's so much on the line here, both these guys have made it in here. Semi-finals, they're going to be pressured a lot. No one wants to make a mistake early that could cost them the early game and then snowball into that last part of the game. Avant Garde have a lot of potential there to give away kills in the mid game, but I think they're very safe early game. If they can keep that early game safe and maybe pick up a few kills left, right, and center, they will survive that mid lane, mid game, I should say.
Yeah, mid lane as well, obviously. You've got to survive that one because Choo Choo's on that Zed, man. The hype train out of this guy is intense. We've seen him on a couple of different teams throughout the last year, and in recent months, he has gotten so close to qualifying a few times on Mindfreak. It's not even funny, so obviously he wants to win this one so badly.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of how close teams come, Avant Garde and Mindfreak are both on the cusp of deserving getting through into the final here today. Both of them have been around the scene for quite some time. Avant Garde even recently more so, Mindfreak coming in a little bit more recently, and just either team here really do have a lot on line. I keep saying it because it's just true.
Yeah,
there's
and I guess
so much pressure.
Avant Garde have the gaming house as well, so they really need those results to come in. And so far, it's kind of unfortunate because it hasn't happened. They've been knocked out by heavy hitters in a couple of events to qualify for this. So One of their last chances to get in.
Lots to prove here from both sides. So this is a best of 3, guys. So this first game is going to tell us a lot how that matchup will go. We are already into the game here. First buyer's coming out. I think we'll see defensive starts from either side, though. Death Sentence is available. That thing can turn things around.
Absolutely. And we've seen it a couple of times also throughout the day in the second match of SYF, where their support was able to burn a couple of flashes early with that hook. We'll see if AV can pull something similar off. A couple of pings coming out here, but honestly, what are we expecting?
Defense from both sides is what it is looking like here.
Of course.
No one wants to give away red buffs. Obviously, with the ward changes, you guys were discussing before that no one really can go in and grab an early advantage. Now, we know Teals has an affinity to go for those skill shots, I should say. Skill shot champions like Thresh. We've seen him play Nami last year to great effect, and he obviously practices that Thresh a lot. Picking that up for Avant Garde, I think, is a big win in the early picks and ban phases, and I think it can transition well into a couple of kills for Smiley Face.
Yeah, and the thing I love about Teals is he kind of chooses a support champion, sticks to it, and completely masters it here. And Thresh is definitely one of those picks for him, and probably why they first picked it as well, you know? That comfort pick, super important for him. And take a look at his mid lane.
Yeah,
that's... Oh,
Choo-Choo's lands two.
come on.
Lands 2 shurikens there. So bottom lane, they've both got a Biscuit and Doran's shield. So both of those champions really benefit from those stats, especially seeing as they're kind of the frontline tanky champions. I mean, we've seen a little bit recently other ability power focused champions such as Nami pick up a Doran's shield, and it feels wrong to me.
Yeah.
I mean, it is definitely needed, and the gold you use to spend on that Doran shield is just, the stats you get is just so worth it, but it still feels wrong.
Yeah.
So,
it's the item you expect Garen to pick up for that top lane, or some tanky bruiser, not the support.
Yeah, exactly. So, Profound here, taking away his red buff, and Elise actually taking her blue buff. So instead of getting the duo bottom lane to help out with the leash, it looks like they have started at the opposite end of the map.
Yeah. So, a lot of poke actually here onto shots. Gets chunked down early on. Teal's playing nicely, getting a good flay off early.
And that is the aggression you see from Thresher we were talking about before. This early game for the bottom lane is really going to be a hurdle for Mindfreak to take over. And ARQ Gymnast in the front line here. Shots using his first one, the flay landing.
Another one, an auto attack to follow. Shots taken so low. Level 2 not even popped here for AV. And ARQ Gymnast just doing his best. Peeled over Peacemaker, just falling short as well. Nice barrier just in case, but man, Smiley already taking a big lead.
So that headshot proc really coming into play there. Followed up by the Pilt over Peacemaker, forcing a barrier onto Siva, and she is actually going back to base with literally 0 CS.
Wow, and that is unbelievable. 10 CS here on Caitlyn as well, so Smiley Face got to be smiling in that lane already, and this is something we always see out of Teals and Smiley in this bottom lane.
Yeah, the duo here with these guys living in the same house, a lot of synergy, and ARQ Gymnast is trying his best to soak up as much experience and get a bit of CS. He's already got a lead over Siva.
Wow, so let's take a look what Carbon looks to do here. Sitting around this middle lane, actually, Intrepid gets chunked right there from Choo-Choo's. Oh, Cocoon comes through, it lands, they're going to fight this one. Neurotoxin comes through as well. Carbon repelling. No, doesn't want to follow that one. It would have been suicide. Intrepid. Ooh, that was scary.
That is very dangerous for Avant Garde. This mid lane is going to really carry Mindfreak into the middle game, and if this bottom lane can hold on, I really have high hopes for Mindfreak, because Siv's mid game is also very strong.
Exactly, and Choo-Choo's is going to have an easy time in this middle lane. Zephyrus, hook lands though on ARQ Gymnast. It's just going to be for some poke for Smiley, but keeping that pressure on, it's got to be what AV want.
It is now. Siva has a bit of an opportunity for some breathing room as she tries to take as much CS on the turret as possible. And mid lane again.
Oh my gosh. Repel out from Carbon as well, playing so aggressively. Unfortunately, his Spiderlings couldn't get the damage down, but, well, Intrepid might be in a bit of trouble here. What has Profound got to do to relieve the pressure?
I don't think there's much he can do pre-6. I mean, he's level 4. He's going to stay in that jungle until such time that he has his ultimate available and then can make some plays. And that is really what Carbon is banking on here. You saw him come in for a gank, burn a few of Intrepid's skills, get him low health, and then just rotate back around and try again. Rinse and repeat. And it's working out really well for Choo-Choo's. You can see here, he's already got a bit of a gold lead.
Yeah, exactly. And Intrepid, as you said, forced to use both summoners here. That's a great position for Zed. He's going to be able to force even more aggression with that flashdown.
Yeah, the top lane is going to be those handbags that we were talking about, just slapping each other in the face. Just two massive tanks not being able to pick up any kills, though. As I say that, so I'm sure that something's going to happen. Elise, though, moving around on top of Ward, going to head back to base.
So, going to head back. What's she looking at buying here? Only got about 15 CS, not much gold in the bag.
Yeah, she might be able to pick up some of the other items. Oh, she does finish the Spirit Stone, so that's a good start as well for the bottom lane.
Onto a wrecked Gymnast right there as well. You can see shots using that spell shield. So Teal's actually pretty good positioning there to land it on the only vulnerable target. Still pressuring this lane, and Smiley with a big CS lead right here.
Yeah, so now Shots has got that spell shield available. A little bit safer for her to come out and for him to come out and get some CS, being able to negate some of the abilities from Teal's, a Flay or a Death Sentence. So that spell shield's going to help out. Xenoblade though.
Wow, going straight onto this one. Smiley gets chunked, has to run back right here. Nice Eclipse as well, doing some damage, and Hook going to land. They're going to turn it around. Will Teal's go in? Has the Flay available, doesn't want to use it right there. Lots of damage from Shots as well. And Smiley just trading as strong as he can. That was pretty close.
Yeah, Smiley didn't want to engage there. We saw there was a couple of opportunities for him to grab a few free auto attacks onto Leona, but didn't happen to take those. So not feeling too comfortable in the position now that Leona's now level 4 and Siva level 4 as well. Even though they're both, well, even though the Erect Gymnast is pretty low, the aggression can still turn around onto Avant Garde.
Absolutely. This top lane as well, you can see Zephyrus trying his best to pressure here against Nex, and seeing Zephyrus in this top lane is interesting as well. Got to remember, he was a support for this team in the past.
He was. He's a very accomplished player. You can see him in trouble here though, uses the burnout as he retreats from his lane. Down in the bottom lane, Siva, again, being aggressed upon. Built over Peacemaker, just chunking her down. She's grabbed some health pots, though, to help out.
Yeah, really eating those shots right there. It's not what you want to be doing on Siva.
I see what you did there. Anyway, Shots in this bottom lane, now catching up with the CS. I mean, he's at 30, he's 14 CS behind. It's a lot better than what it was, for sure. Big Force back in that early game is real big trouble. You see a little bit of gold difference. It's just 300 gold in favour of Smiley Face. Avant, got to be happy about that.
Absolutely, and look at this in the middle lane as well. Ziggs feeling so far behind, he's picked up 2 Doran's rings. All
right, Nocturne moving around the bottom lane. He's level 6 here, place. We can see First Blood coming down onto Mindfreak.
Teal's going aggressive here. Shots has that spell sheet. He's going to hook in onto a Erect Gymnast. Uses the Flay as well, and there's Profound going so deep into the fight. Follows it up with the Q. Will they find the kills? The question. Erect Gymnast is the focus here. They're not going to find it. Ignite ticks, but it's not going to be enough.
Crucial flash there from Shots.
Zed's coming in. There's a death mark straight onto Teal's. The Ignite burns, and he is very dead. First blood for MF Choo Choo's.
Yeah, Choo Choo turning that one around with a great roam. Look, Ziggs is just behind the 8 ball. Well, the ultimate, though, coming in doesn't land onto Erect Gymnast, who's very low here. That could have been an easy execute for Ziggs. Pretty long range, though. Lots of travel time on that bomb. But like I was going to say before all the action continued, a huge... missing his repel there mid lane. They're taking the blue buff. I was going to say, a crucial flash from Shots. As that the fear procced from Nocturne, he actually was in full safety of his own tower and was able to ride out the fear within that safety. We see 2 blue buffs now onto Mindfreak. A nice little grab for those guys, still behind in the gold.
Absolutely right there. And look in the top lane as well. Next, pushing Zephyrus in. He's building a big CS lead up here as well.
Alright, so that first blood onto Choo Choo's is going to snowball into something crazy. I fear that Avant Garde are in a lot of trouble here, especially since Intrepid wasn't able to grab his blue buff after that. He's going to have a lot of trouble trying to clear these waves. You can see already he's low CS, so relying a lot on auto attacks to gain the CS. Taking auto attacks from minions as well doesn't help out. Shuriken's land. Look at the damage coming out from Choo Choo's already. He's got himself the Vampiric Scepter and the Doran's Shield. Grabbed a couple of wards there for some safety from Nocturne. So Avant Garde are going to be relying on Profound to get those ganks off, but we saw it didn't work out too well for them in the bottom lane anyway. Yeah. So Profound, another maybe 30 seconds until that ultimate's up, and I think that Avant Garde will look to make another move in this bottom lane.
Well, we'll see if that's what he decides to do there. Of course, they've got to have that fear of Choo Choo's now if he decides to roam, because he's kind of dominating this middle lane now. He's slowly building that CS lead, and I'd expect it to get bigger. Erect Gymnast going to put down a quick ward there as well, and of course, you've got to remember, Dragon's up as well.
So we'll have a look at the little bit of the gold here. You can see this top lane is really where the deficit is, as 300 gold, which is all that is between these two teams, between Shyvana and Renekton. The bottom lane, with the assist, really caught up Siva, and she's now equal with the Caitlyn. Both of them having actually exactly the same items. We have a look, they've both got a BF sword and the boots as well. Oh, well, no boots for Shots, though.
Not just yet. Hasn't got those Nikes on him just yet, but here
we
comes
go.
Carbon. Will he find the cocoon? Comes out, just misses onto Teals. Oh, nice flash over the solar flare as well, so Teals will get out. Profound's made his way down, but he doesn't have the paranoia. Still just on cooldown.
Flash down for Thresh. That's a big playmaker for him. I think Mindfreak did come out on top of that one. Even though Nocturne was there, he has just got his ultimate available. You see it, the last few seconds of that cooldown ticking over, and Carbon going to return back to the enemy's jungle by the looks.
Yeah, we'll see what he decides to do here. You can see in the top lane as well, you know, Zephyr slowly bleeding out on his tower right there. Top tower probably going to go down reasonably early in this game for Nex. Question is, though, how does the bottom lane respond to all of this pressure in the top lane? How do the junglers respond as well?
We've seen Choo Choo's do a successful roam beforehand, and I think the way that Renekton's building is actually going to be quite detrimental if we see...
Oh, at least in the middle lane. See what he decides to do right here. Nice satchel charge from Intrepid. Mini step there as well to get away from that. Good little move there from Intrepid. Going to go back to defending his tower.
Yeah, that's a very deep dive coming from Carbon. So as I was saying, the Renekton building very offensively. I think the Choo Choos will be able to get a lot of damage onto Nex, and it could be very detrimental for Avant Garde having really no front line. Even you see Kindle Gem onto Nocturne, all ganking the bottom lane though.
Oh, Hook's going to land on Carbon. Actually, I think Smiley will fight this one. Carbon solo, but Teals gets melted right there. Gets taken out by shots. Return kill though. It's a 1-for-1.
Yeah, and in terms of who died in that situation, the jungler going down, really not ideal for Mindfreak. Thresh being taken out very quickly there. You can see now Nocturne actually positioning himself with that ultimate available, looking for possibly a re-engage coming out after ARQ Gymnast might land a Zenith Blade or something in that bottom lane to turn a fight around. It is 2v1 right at the moment for Mindfreak, as we see shots just lapping up some CS.
Yeah, and he really needs it here. He's way behind in that CS mark. He is actually even on items, though, just behind those boots of speed.
Yeah, that kill onto Sivers really kind of leveled out that playing field for the bottom lane. So these ADs super close due to a lot of nice plays from Mindfreak. Choo Choo's though.
Oh, Intrepid might be in trouble here. Deathmark is available. He won't use it. Just going to use that harass earlier on. Maybe set up a kill for the future.
Yeah, Choo Choo's picking up that Brutalizer, their cooldown reduction, really going to put a lot of poke onto Intrepid, and he still hasn't got a blue buff. This Ziggs has been blue buffless all game, and it's really showing here. 107 CS on the Zed to Ziggs 89 CS.
Yeah, and Ziggs has had to go for that tier as well, which is very common against those AD mids if they don't go for the arm guard. But kind of interesting, Intrepid got the two cloth armors for the arm guard, and then was like, no, I want that tier, and there we go. Finally finishes that arm guard.
So both of those items giving literally, well, except for the Seeker's arm guard, you really don't get much ability power. He's got two Doran's shields, and after he's built up, or bottom lane, he will have 15 ability power. But in the bottom lane,
oh, Deathmark comes out on Smiley. Oh, Choo Choo's flashes to try and get the Q off, doesn't land. Profound comes in with the paranoia. Fear goes off. Ace in the hole gets blocked by ARQ Gymnast. No kills in this bottom lane. Big fight though.
Very close fight between the two. A nice follow-up from Profound using the ultimate to come in, and in this top lane, now that Choo Choo's has roamed as well.
Oh, what's he going to do next? He's going to jump in with the slice and dice, pops that ultimate as well. Getting a bunch of damage. Successfully defends that tower though.
Still after that though, Dominus being used for literally nothing from Mindfreak. That cooldown could be quite detrimental for Nex in the next engagement. That's a very hard to follow up a name like that. But now it's on to Carbon to really make a play in this top lane. And like I said, he's picked up the Tiamat, and that's really no offensive stats apart from the the attack damage lifesteal. That's the word I'm looking for. If I can get it out. A lifesteal from Tiamat. I can't even get the words out of my mouth. We can see a giant spell also being picked up. So he has got some defense.
So interesting lanes all around the map right here. Bottom lane, definitely in the favor of Avant Garde. And in reverse, in the top lane, it's all about AV Nex up there. So AV across the map, doing well in the lanes, but they're behind in the kills.
Intrepid once again in a lot of trouble. Choo Choo's has so much damage. Still no blue buff. So as I was saying, due to no blue buff, he's picked up the tier as well as the Seeker's arm guard. Still just not a lot of damage from him. And you can see now the blue buff being contested from Choo Choo's.
Well, we'll see if he decides to get it. No, goes over to Intrepid. He's finally got his first blue of the game, and kind of desperate to pick that one up.
Yeah, but they've traded it for their own red buff on Nex in a lot of trouble. Is he going to face check that brush? No, he's not. Carbon decides to not engage that one. I think he might have seen the mid lane there. A bit of Profound coming around.
Yeah, not what he wants to see at all. So, back to a bit of a lull in the game actually here. Both of these junglers, I feel, not really putting the kind of aggression on this game as we might have expected here. What is the reason for that? You know, why are these junglers playing so safe?
Oh, it's just so much pressure onto these guys at the moment. The death coming out from Carbon, I guess that's given him a little bit of a fear that if he feeds a little bit more or dies a couple more times that he'll fall really far behind. And Profound actually 0-0-0 is not too bad when you're coming up against Elise, who has got 0-1-1. She has got that assist in there and has made a bit of a play, but Profound playing very safe, got a little bit more CS, picked up the Spirit of the Ancient Golem, whereas the Sork Shoes on Elise. So very different builds from both of those guys. But in the bottom lane, I was going to mention that Shots now at the level 8 mark has a lot of wave clear. So, Zenith play.
Wow, going straight into this fight. Stuns up Smiley. Nice return damage with that boomerang, and Smiley gets chunked. Hook misses as well, so that was a brilliant trade there for Mindfreak.
You can see the amount of damage that boomerang does now. That she's level 8, got the Bloodthirster finished.
Oh, there's the ultimate coming out of Leona. Jumps straight in. Box used. It's not enough, and it's Smiley that gets melted down. Shot's going to chase. Hook comes out. I'm not sure what he's baiting for. You could see the roam from Profound. Not going to be enough. Flash away from Teals.
Interesting turn there from Thresh, maybe thinking that Nocturne was a bit closer. This is going to transition to a nice dragon for Mindfreak, get them that lead. 3-1 in the kills, and here comes a big gold lead from Mindfreak. Avant Garde definitely on the back foot.
Here comes Choo-Choo's. Profound jumps in though. They want to fight this one. Profound, he's going to be taken out. No, flashes the wall. He's on the run now. The question is, does he get away? He makes the distance and he gets out. Good attempt for the steal, but he survives.
Definitely not worth if he did die there. He did survive, used his ultimate. That's going to be down for at least another few minutes. And it was worth a shot, I guess.
Yeah, good to have that opportunity available. And we saw, you know, well, we've seen in the past how well that can pay off for your team if you manage to pull off the steal. Doesn't quite happen for him, but the question is, what's up next? Dragon's down. No towers taken for anyone here. Lots of wards in the bottom lane. What are these guys looking to do?
So the bottom lane is still very healthy. They've got that dragon. The gold lead comfortably in their favour. It's all up in the top lane isn't engaged.
Zephyr's going to be forced to back out. Next jumps in. Will he pick up the kill? He does manage to find it, and Carbon gets the execute damage. It's a 1-for-1. Wow.
Zephyrus probably could have survived there. The Dominus really just did the damage to execute him in the end. If he'd maybe turned around, I'm not sure if he could have survived. It was such a close fight. And in the end, traded 1-for-1. It's really something that I think Mindfreak came out on top because they got an assist over to Carbon. So that's going to give him a bit of confidence and a bit more gold in this fight. You can see he's got the Ruby Crystal there. Probably going to build into that Haunting Guys.
Yeah, it would be good to see him get more of that spell pen. You can see Intrepid roaming up to this top lane as well to relieve some pressure. Going to be able to clear that out. Also get some much needed CS, being Choo-Choo's has been dominating him in this mid lane.
Yeah, Intrepid once again blueless and still no real big AP items. I think he might be saving up for a needlessly large rod. And Teal's here throwing out Death Sentence, doesn't quite land. He does have that flash down after that interesting re-engage in the bottom lane. That's really detrimental. You want to try and get in there with Thresh. You've got Death Sentence to land. If you get flash and you get a little bit further in the back line with the box and use that flash aggressively, you can turn fights around big time. And I think Mindfreak's control of this map is showing. You can see Zenith Blade landing, flayed away.
And there's a lot of damage from that boomerang right there, popping the passive as well from a Wreck Gymnast. Man, that's scary stuff. We thought Mindfreak's bottom lane was losing, but whoa.
We talked about the mid game here for Mindfreak being strong, and this is where Siva comes into play. She's got a lot of wave clear, and an ultimate from Ziggs coming in to take away that CS.
Hook going to miss as well from Teals there, so no aggression coming out here. And what has AV got to do to stop this snowball in the bottom lane? Looks like Siva's taking it away.
Yeah, and now Intrepid's, well, now that Intrepid has picked up some ability power items there, he can start making the plays, but Choo-Choo's execute power just really is overshadowing. Avant Garde have a good mid-game group. So if they can group up together and take an advantage with a lot of poke with Piltover Peacemaker as well as bombs from Ziggs, the bouncing bomb, I think they can turn a fight around very quickly, grabbing someone out with a death sentence. But it seems the lane phase carrying on 20 minutes into this game still is not working out for Avant Garde. They need to get together. They need to try and make some plays.
So Dragon's obviously not up for a while here. You can see wards being cleared out in this bottom lane and junglers kind of making their way to this bottom lane. Question is, who will get the engage? Carbon's already up in the front.
Oh, this is very dangerous for Avant-Garde. You could see a 3v3 fight, although Nocturne returning over to his blue buff, which is up at the moment. Pings it out. Pings coming out from Mindfreak, so they know it's up. I think there might even be a Mindfreak ward on there.
Whoa.
You can see the invade.
Carbon going to that blue buff. He's going to try and get it. Smites it away. Brilliantly done there from Carbon.
Nice work picking up that blue buff. I don't think the Ziggs has got... He's got one blue buff whole game. It's just not very good for poor old Intrepid at the moment. Mindfreak really good capitalising on their positioning as well, and recognising that once Ziggs has that blue buff, the clear potential on him is just so high that he can go and start roaming, and it's forced him to get some of these other items.
Absolutely. Top lane as well, just been an island for most of the game. We saw that one kill earlier on, and that's pretty much been it for the rest of it. 4-2 now is the score at 20 minutes. Hook just going to miss there, but the gold, it's dead even.
Yeah, so red pings coming out from Avant-Garde over top of Elise, who was coming around the back looking for a fight. And Choo Choo's CS here against Intrepid. There is a huge gold deficit between the two. Almost 1,000 gold it was there in favour of a Z is bad news for Avant-Garde.
Yeah, and it's also bad news for Smiley Face here. He's going to be the one dealing with that assassin come mid to late game. Question is, what's going to happen for that?
Well, it's going to change how Thresh plays his game. It's going to turn him from the playmaker into the peeler. He needs to go back and protect Smiley Face. Smiley Face with the flash up, as well as 90 caliber net.
They've seen Carbon though. His Teal's going to engage this one. There's a lot of damage coming around. Paranoia as well. He gets hooked in. This is a very dead spider. He's going to drop back down onto Smiley. Flashes the wall. Oh, he gets out and there's an ultimate coming out, but it's going to be the Inferno Bomb that cleans him up. Nice little return from Intrepid to secure the kill. AV look to follow though. Are they going to catch? No. Thrill of the Hunt, going to get him out.
Okay, so a lot of big spells there burnt just to catch out Carbon, who was very aggressive going in there.
Yeah.
It was a nice little play though to flash over the side, almost enough to secure him, the escape. But they picked up the kill with the ultimate from Ziggs. But it also relieves some pressure on this mid lane. So Choo Choo's got a big wave. You can see here he's moving towards his top lane. I talked about this earlier place. Next is going to be in a lot of trouble. Zephyrus has started the engage. The minions are there to help him out as well. And looks like the Next may have spotted him out over a ward. I'm not sure. Nope. Well, deciding that he's going to go.
has Deathmark. They're going to fight this one. Zephyrus is very low. Deathmark comes out. So much damage on the Next. He gets taken out before the Deathmark even pops.
That's what I said. It's just really dangerous for Renekton to spend that money on the tier armor, and he's actually finished it off now. And that execute as well onto Next is going to really give Choo Choo's a huge advantage here. 2-0 and 0. Zephyrus picking up 2 assists here. Carbon just going to solo the dragon. He can do so with those spiderlings. Erect Gymnast is going to walk straight over top of a ward, and no one from Avant-Garde can answer.
And that's interesting as well, because the play in the top lane was Mindfreak. So Mindfreak ganking the top lane and taking the dragon. You don't usually see that, but that's just how far Mindfreak are ahead. Choo Choo's though going to take a lot of damage. Oh, another bomb comes out. That was a bit scary for him. Inferno Bomb wasn't there for the execute though.
Blade of the Ruin King finished now for Choo Choo's. Has a lot of lifesteal available for him. You can see, look how quickly he's coming back up to full health. The bouncing bomb lands. He will not be able to survive. Thresh has joined the lane looking for a play. But Shots is now solo, actually, against the Smiley Face. Those boomerangs and are going to be really turning the fight in his favour if he can land a couple. And you can see already, Caitlyn a little bit low health.
Yeah, so mid lane is where it's all at, though. Teal's pushing with Intrepid here. No, Intrepid's just going to go base, so... Of course, pushing the lane up to get yourself a base trip is always nice and handy. I think Erection is going to take that notion as well.
So now, the mid-game here, Mindfreak really have got the lead. Not a huge lead, to say the least. It's only about 1,000 gold, actually nearly exactly 1,000 gold. They've got one tower down the bottom lane. They need to start using this edge to really grab themselves some objectives. Maybe group up a bit more. Now that bottom lane is a little bit free to roam, you saw Leona head mid. If they could group up and turn a fight in their favour and grab an objective, especially in that mid lane, it's going to be crucial for map control. And Avant-Garde already being on the back foot, I think, even though they have that, Choo Choo's looking for a fight here on Trevor.
Whoa, lots of damage there. Satchel comes out. Brilliant death mark. Doesn't even matter that the Zonias came off. Intrepid probably going to go down here. No, there's the ace in the hole on the Choo Choo's. Oh, it's a 1-for-1. So many ultimates used there. That was intense.
That was such a good play from both of the players. The death mark being used as the satchel charge was initiated, but the rest of Avant-Garde's positioning really coming out on top. They're going to grab the mid lane, so 2 for 0 towers. What can Mindfreak do? They're going to try and take down the second tier turret. All right, so swapping for a top lane here.
Bit of a base race.
Yeah, it's a base race. Actually, 2 turrets for Mindfreak now, and a second tier turret going to come from Avant-Garde. Everybody backing here for Mindfreak.
AV coming out so far ahead in that one. From that 1v1 in the mid lane, pick up 2 towers. That's big news for them. They're now 3 towers to 2 in their favor. Still behind in gold by about 600, but definitely making up for that early game.
Yeah, that mid turret actually falling is really detrimental for Mindfreak. They don't have that control over the middle part of the map, and it's so crucial. That first tier mid lane loss is so crucial in making the plays. They're going to have to spend a lot of money on the wards to keep this mid lane safe. Now the Choo Choos though is level 15 with the Last Whisper, Brutalizer, Boots of Mobility going for a lot more of a roam style Zed. I think that he has a lot of potential to pick up kills around the map and start snowballing even harder.
Yeah, and also Elise has a lot of potential for kills here. Picked up the Abyssal Scepter.
Yeah, now Ziggs also actually finished the Zonya's Hourglass. We're just seeing all these big items finished around the map, not even noticing. Blue buff going over to Intrepid here, and he's feeling pretty safe at the moment. Mindfreak looking to grab a mid turret back though. I don't think they'll be able to under this turret. Next, fighting Choo Choos in the top lane.
Whoa, we'll see if he wants to dive that one mid lane, getting taken very low. Choo Choos up here. There's a death mark. He's going in for it next. In big trouble. He is going to be taken out. Pop! There it is. Kill for him.
Nice calculation from Choo Choos on the death mark. Really actually going down to the dot with those auto attacks and really pushing that pushing the damage to the limit. You can see Mindfreak now moving into the top lane. Now they have the advantage. Red buff respawns for Avant-Garde, and Shots is going to pick that one up. Sivir is so strong at the moment, place. This is big trouble for Avant-Garde.
Oh, they're going to dive here onto Profound as well. Nice little catch there from Leona. Gets the kill.
All right, they're going to take the second tier turret and easily move through. Maybe and grab the inhibitor turret here. You can see that Zephyrus is very tanky. No wards from either side. And Avant-Garde are in a really prime position to fight this one. Another 25 seconds until Nocturne's up.
Absolutely, and in the space of only moments, Mindfreak have capitalized on so many solo kills to pick up these objectives. They're now even in the tower lead and way ahead in the gold, about 3,000. And they're going for a Baron. This is crazy.
Yeah, this is actually really nice play from Mindfreak going for the Baron. There's the ulti from Ziggs coming out. And if they can take away this Baron really quickly, that will give them even bigger advantage. Looking really comfortable, this Mindfreak team.
So, question is, what can they pick up here? You can see Choo Choos 4, 1, and 1. Big items for him. The third major item almost completed for Sivir as well. Yeah,
so Sivir looking really strong. She going for that Phantom Dancer possibly with the Zeal there. And giving her a lot more mobility with the movement speed coupled in there with all the other damage items. She's got that Last Whisper and Bloodthirster. I'd be really scared of that Sivir at the moment if I was Avant-Garde.
Absolutely right now. I'd be scared from the casting desk because honestly, she's doing so much damage right here. Question is, where is Profound going? He has the Paranoia available. I feel like this is a moment where AV should be grouping to make sure they don't lose even more of their lead.
Yeah, they really need to group a little bit a while ago. Like we were saying in that early mid-game, they had a lot of poke available to really kind of grab someone out of position and create a 4v5 very, very quickly, but they haven't been able to do that. I mean, they've kept that mid turret alive. I'm not sure what Carbon is doing at the moment. Just chilling out at the race. Maybe forgot to press B.
Just
it happens
chilling,
to the best of us.
Yeah, just sitting
he
in
might wait till Wraiths respawn as well.
Oh, that's actually a good possibility. I don't know, maybe he's just shopping and didn't realize he hit me. I think that's
hopefully he's not plagued with any disconnection issues. We might see
no DDoS around here.
Please not today. And like I was saying before, place, a lot of money will be spent on keeping vision around the middle of this map now that Mindfreak have got that mid turret down. So we see there is a pause coming out from Mindfreak. So there was actually a disconnect from Carbon as well as a Wreck Gymnast. We'll just have to ride this pause out.
Yeah, just a little bit unfortunate actually that happened. So we'll see if these guys can get back into the game quick, of course. You never want to be disconnecting in a pro game like this, and with so much on the line for game number 1, not just the fact that it's the first game of the best of 3, but you want to hold that momentum in, and right now it's pretty close. Score is 8-4, but still close.
Still very close. Avant-Garde definitely not out of the fight just yet. We can look at some of the big items here, though. Now we've got a chance to have a breath between all the fighting. Rena was opening a Sunfire Cape on Shyvana, going for the Negatron Cloak next. She's very, very tanky, and it's going to be hard for Caitlyn to really fight Shyvana in the backline. She will still do a lot of damage with the burnout coupled in with the Sunfire Cape. And like I was saying before, it's going to turn that Thresh into a playmaker into the appealing type.
Absolutely. It's kind of interesting when we talk about the Shyvana because, of course, it's Zephyrus playing Shyvana, and he was formerly the support for this team as a sub. So, you know, we've had a lot of roster swaps coming into today's tournament.
Yeah, a lot of uncomfortable picks for, or players, I should say, for either side. Zephyrus, though, really doing a good job up in this top lane. He is now 217 CS. He has died. He's got the 2 assists, but holding up well against Renekton, who's also died 3 times. And that's really attributed a lot to the roams we've seen from Carbon, as well as Choo Choo's, actually.
Yeah, Choo Choo's roams have been huge.
It's the Choo Choo's roams that make a lot of difference. And it's just, really hard for Renekton to come up here.
Yeah, Choo Choo's trying to go that express train, taking him to the lanes for the ganks. It's really been what snowballed his team ahead in the early game. So you can see Carbon's reconnected now well, so hopefully it'll work out.
Right, looks like the Carbon has reconnected to the game, and here comes the Wreck Gymnast. We're going to be back into this one shortly. The pause should resume any second now. So, like you were saying, Place, they have an aggressive Elise play as well here, coming out from Carbon with the Abyssal Scepter. He has grabbed that one up as well as the Sork Boots. A lot of penetration there. So he didn't actually go for the Haunting Guys like we were talking about before.
Damn, so let down right there. Oh well.
Alright, so he's got the Giant's Belt in there with the Spirit of the Ancient Golem. Lots of tankiness and lots of damage on that Elise. I feel that not banning that one out from Avant Garde was really detrimental. Mindfreak playing this Elise very well.
Yeah, and they pick up the Dragon because of it as well. You know, you can do the Dragon so quickly with the execute damage there on Elise. And, you know, really just quick rotations here from Mindfreak have been pulling them huge leads. And I guess it's fantastic to see because it's the harder point in these kind of tournaments when it comes to those rotations. How you outplay the enemy on a team scale rather than a personal scale.
And we talked a little bit before about the Intrepid on the Ziggs with a Zhonya's Hourglass in there. He can now fight Choo Choo's pretty well. Use that Zhonya's Hourglass at the most opportunistic time. We saw it work very well for him, and they grabbed the kill onto Choo Choo's. And that is really what's kind of forced Zed to go up in that top lane and start roaming a bit more. But Mindfreak here in a good position to get this middle turret.
Yeah, it seems like the split push actually today has all been about the getaway. You see if Mindfreak decide to dive this, they get...
Easy turret.
Yeah, easy as there. And they're going to move on to the second one as well. They're just cruising down this middle lane. Nocturne forced to go base here. He has the paranoia, so he needs to be with his team to engage these ones. What's Mindfreak looking to do, though?
I think this is a really bad spot for Mindfreak to be in sieging here. They do have good wave clear with shots, but a lot of pick potential and bouncing bombs with the Thresh hook could really turn a lot around. You see the shots taken. A Piltover Peacebanker to the face. They actually rotate bot. Nice rotation from Mindfreak, grabbing that second tier bottom turret. They want to try and finish this one with that Baron buff.
Yeah, and again, Choo Choo's setting up stuff for his team. You know, preemptively pushes that bottom lane. Easy rotation for Mindfreak to pick up a tower. Whoa, next jumping in there. That was very aggressive there. Was trying to get some damage on the shots, but not really going to happen against that spell shield.
I think he was using the Slice and Dice more for a bit of wave clear. The Spiderling coming out around the back for the poke. Yeah, really in a poke situation, Avant Garde have a great team for it. They're just not very confident. Carbon taking a few shots there.
Smiley gets chunked so hard right there. And obviously the death mark is still available for Choo Choo.
That forces them away. They just cannot fight with the Baron buff available.
It's really tough right now. Mindfreak gonna get that second mid turret, and now they're gonna transition back to the bottom lane probably, or perhaps even just keep pushing the middle lane. They have so many opportunities here. Wow, Deathmark across the wall onto Nex, right onto the target. He gets out, but so does Zed. No kills either way. That was incredible.
Wow, and that's actually forced him back into his base. So there's an opportunity here for Mindfreak to grab some objectives. They're going to take away that blue buff. But now that Deathmark being down Choo Choo's, he doesn't have the execute available to try and take out either Intrepid or Smiley Face. But still, Mindfreak feeling comfortable. Baron buff has finished up here, Place. Here comes the push on the bottom side.
And we'll see if they're successful. Currently, all of their lanes slowly pushing in, which is what they like. Hook from Teals. Oh, and that's a big kill coming out there onto Teals. He gets melted for it. Zephyrus jumped in this fight as well. Zones out Smiley Face. He X all by himself. Zephyrus running away from the turret, and Intrepid going for Choo Choo's, who's in the backline melting people. But it's a Wreck Gymnast, and Nex going at it. They take Nex out in the fight, and that is big news for blue team right here.
Alright, so Choo Choo's taking out of the fight. At least, I was going to say...
Oh no, a Wreck Gymnast!
A Wreck Gymnast, no!
Oh, he gets out that tower, almost taking him out. Bombs coming through. Spell shields to block it out. Nice defense there from Intrepid. He's still actually chasing here.
I was going to say how in the world Elise survived that team fight is beyond me, but she eventually died. It is a 2-for-3 trade in favour of Mindfreak. They got a bit of free damage on that turret, but Baron will be up in a minute 40. They've got the vision control there as well. Shots almost caught out from Profound. All right, so look at the gold lead here. Firmly in Mindfreak's favour. 11-6 kills, 6-4 turrets, and 54,000 gold to 47,000 gold. Smiley face here returning the mid lane. He's actually picked up the home guard enchantment for his Berserker Greaves. That just is really showing how Avant Garde are feeling about this fight. It's kind of crucial for him to come in and out of the fight after going back to full health to pick up that enchantment.
Absolutely. And on the other hand, Mindfreak feeling so confident right now. Already, Erect Gymnast and Shots pushing up this middle lane, getting ready for the next team fight here. We'll see where the rest of the team go at. Looks like Choo Choo's going to go for a solo push on this top lane again.
Guardian's Angel finished now onto Shots. That is big trouble for Avant Garde. They cannot even get towards that back line and take out their main source of damage. The Guardian's Angel pop with the rest of the team around just means Avant Garde can't do much at all. Smiley face here has a Phantom Dancer, Last Whisper, and Berserker Greaves. He's a whole item, 2 items. Actually, no, it is a whole item behind Siva. She's actually picked up a Elixir of Fortitude as well.
Yeah, just help him out for that next fight. I mean, Mindfreak definitely in the lead here, so it makes sense. Baron's going to be up in 20 seconds as well, so everything you can put towards that Baron to secure it for your team is going to be super helpful here for Mindfreak.
And Mindfreak's aggression here, just throwing out the wards. Look at how much money has been spent around the Baron pit with those pink wards. There's no way that Avant Garde can get any vision control over it. And Baron's up in 3 seconds. Mindfreak have the timer. They want to get this one. And Choo Choo's is actually very far forward. Doesn't even need to worry about helping the rest of his team out. If he can keep the rest of Avant Garde busy, it's going to be good days for Mindfreak.
And Baron just getting melted so quickly right here. AV were on the spot. They do rotate
On
down
the
forward.
hunt.
Oh, they're going to fight this straight away. Solar Flare completely whiffs. No, it catches Zed next on the side, and Zed jumps in. Nice Lantern to take next out, but he gets taken out from Choo Choo's anyway. All of AV on the run right here. Nice splash damage coming out of there from Zed, but they're going to chase here onto Intrepid. Intrepid survives with this shield, manages to get out in the end, and now it's Profound on the run as well. Zephyrus gets hooked for a moment, and Smiley doing his best to the side. That was huge, and it's the kill coming out onto Ziggs. Another hook onto Zephyrus. Profound goes down. It's a 1-for-1 in that little tossle,
shots.
and man, the kill's just coming out. It's a 2-for-4 here. Another hook coming out of Teals, but it's all for nothing. A double for Siva.
A beautiful aggressive flash from Zephyrus. Finished that kill onto Ziggs. Ziggs thought he was safe. The Seraphs embraced the Lanterns. All the shields in the world couldn't stop him from Zephyrus getting in there and taking him out. Shots positioning though, absolutely perfect throughout that entire team fight, and a lot of good ultimates used from Avant Garde. I actually thought they were going to come out on top of that one, but they decided to go back in and really give Mindfreak the advantage. Erect Gymnast went in very deep. The hook, unfortunately, early on in that fight, landing onto Erect Gymnast, really wanted to try and land on the Shots, and next, looking for a fight here against Shots, who still has a Guardian's Angel available after being completely untouched in that fight.
So, at the end of the day, it's 15-8 here in the favor of Mindfreak. What's up next as this quick pause comes out?
Well, there's a lot to be proven here from Avant Garde. They're on the back foot, fighting a Mindfreak who is in the lead with a Baron buff, though Mindfreak still haven't been able to capitalize with grabbing an inhibitor. Avant Garde's turtle defense, well, not really turtling, just the defense in general has been really spot on. Nice work from those guys, but it's just not enough here.
Yeah, they need to come out of their shell and really get this game going for them.
Yes, they do. So, item-wise, we see a Warmogs grabbed by the Leona. She's in the front line with that Warmogs as well. As a Talisman of Ascension, we saw that with the On the Hunt. I mean, you just cannot run away from either side.
It's kind of interesting though. I mean, the Warmog's on a support here. We've seen supports in the Season 4 or Season 2014 patch getting a lot more tanky here, but compared to a Randuin's, I feel there may have been some better options for that Leona.
Yeah, and let's have a look at some of the gold leads here over on the teams. We see 14.5k gold on to Choo Choo's, and for Intrepid on Ziggs, he's only at 11,000 gold. That's just so much of a difference between those two mid laners, especially for a Zed to have that over the top of a Ziggs. It's Mindfreak just feeling very comfortable here. Avant Garde, I don't know what they can do.
Yeah, absolutely. And as we said, roster swaps never help when it comes to pushing out a game, but for Mindfreak here with Zephyrus coming to the top lane, they don't seem to be having a problem with it at all. They're really pushing this game through quickly, getting through no problems at all.
All right, so we might just have to wait out while these guys reconnect. Might actually cut to a bit of a little quick video, and make sure you stick around for the end of this game. Lots on the line here. Mindfreak taking on Avant Garde. We'll be right back, guys.
Pause will only take a moment. Just kidding, we're back in the game, Menace.
That was a really quick hype video there we just played. I hope you liked it.
I'm hyped.
I'm super hyped. The end of this game is near, though, for Avant Garde. Mindfreak all over them at this stage. 15-8. They're taking away another dragon. That gold lead increased even further. So many good items finished for Mindfreak. And like we said, don't know what Avant Garde can do. They're trying desperately to claw their way back into this game. They don't have vision control. They don't have map control at all. It's just a matter of hiding behind their inhibitor turrets until Mindfreak make a mistake.
Well, that's the question. What is going to be the mistake? Shot's going to pick up his red buff, though. Not a mistake there. What's the mistake here?
I don't even know. Like, if Shots was the one to be caught out here, it would be another pause, of course.
Oh, Carbon.
Carbon having some internet issues. Please bear with us, guys. So, as I was saying, Shots, if he does get caught out of position and make that mistake, he still has Guardian's Angel to rely on. So, there's just... Guardian's Angel also onto Zed as well. Yeah. There's no way that they can eliminate the damage from Mindfreak to come back out on top.
Yeah, obviously, it's kind of interesting as this game has kind of evolved from the early game, because we saw Smiley Face and Teals were doing a fantastic job in their lane. They got a big early lead, and it was only until Choo Choo started roaming that Mindfreak pulled back, you know. Seeing how this game has changed to the point where players like Shots and Erect Gymnast are the huge damage threats, considering their early laning phases, it's quite interesting.
Yeah, and look, even Caitlyn's not full build yet. She still only has those three sort of core items, going for a BF sword, probably going to finish off with the Infinity Edge there, and then move into a Guardian's Angel. There's just not enough damage on Caitlyn, not enough peel to try and protect her or Ziggs at this stage, even though Ziggs has got a lot of potential in the Seraphs and the Zhonyas. It's just very hard. And
the peel is something interesting as well, because we saw... with the first game of the day, a very similar situation happened where, you know, too many assassins, not enough peel, and the AD carry just pays for it.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's not quite the same here for Avant Garde. They've got at least the Thresh and the Renekton, but, you know, it's hard for Caitlyn in this situation.
Well, dare I say, we might cut back to that video. Not sure how long this is going to be, guys. So if we cut out through the video, it's because the pause has resumed. I reckon we'll go straight to the video. No, wait.
No, Carbon's reconnected.
As I said that.
That's what we like to see.
That's good. All right, we can finish this game off and get into the next one and see what they can do. I think Avant Garde really just have to look forward for the next match.
Yeah.
Who do they ban out? Now they'll be on the blue side, be able to maybe pick up that Elise. It depends if Mindfreak gives it to him. But there's a lot to come from this. I mean, what do? Do you ban out Choo Choo's with that mid lane? There's Yasuo, you have Cassidy. There's so much there for Choo Choo's to pick up. It's really hard for Avant Garde in that banning phase to come out on top, especially since Mindfreak have a really deep champion pool.
Absolutely, and I think it's always interesting to see how the best of three unfolds, because it's, you know, they kind of write their own story as they go through it. Game one, everyone is kind of going in a little bit in the dark, and then as the game progresses, you really get a feel for how the teams and the matchups are working. So, you know, as you said, Avant Garde probably going to be looking for game number 2 of this best of 3, but it's not all over yet, because as you said, Mindfreak, one mistake could cost them everything.
Easily could cost them the game, but they have Baron buff, they have 2 Guardian's Angels. It's going to be hard for Avant to find that opening in the match. And once again, Mindfreak going back into their jungle, trying to just increase that lead further.
Got to get them Wraiths.
Get the Wraiths, very important at this stage of the game.
Absolutely. The blue buff spawns as well, so that's obviously important there for Carbon to get those cocoons out a little bit quicker. Choo Choo's as well already got a blue buff as well. He picked up from the enemy team.
Definitely going to help out with all the cooldown reduction. I'd say he'd almost be max with the cleaver there, and with that blue buff being picked up by him, you can see the Yordle snap traps being positioned around this mid lane of Avant Garde, anticipating a fight in this middle lane.
Yeah, anticipating the destruction that's surely going to happen right here. Just a matter of time. Carbon moving up this middle lane, and Zephyr's going to go base as well, pick up a couple of items before he goes in. But man, this one's going to be interesting. AV definitely in turtle mode now, hardly moving out of their base.
Alright, so Mindfreak just kind of looking to take more objectives, seeing if they can catch Avant-Garde out. But Avant-Garde know that if they venture any further out than that first brush from their mid lane, they're probably going to get executed in a matter of seconds and deleted from the map, and that would be the game. One more team fight to do it. Mindfreak haven't even grouped up to do some sieging because they know that Avant-Garde can make a pick.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting, you know, you look at AV, they're all tense, they're turtling, it's a scary situation. You look at Mindfreak, they're pretty chillaxed right now, just roaming around.
Okay, I see why they're chillaxed, because
Yeah.
I think the Carbon and ARQ Gymnast are having a lot of trouble with their internet issues. So we might actually just cut to some music while we wait out this one.
She's such a misfit, always ready to brawl. It's like her business, roughing up your friends. The law, there is no difference. If you believe you're strong, she's a bulldozer, making sure you're flat on the ground. She's like a boomerang, but never gives up. She flies in circles, so she hits you in the sun and the dust. So just remember this. When she shoots
Awesome,
you
awesome.
down, face first, you'll be thrown into the proving ground. She'll knock you out. Have you ever really wanted to be a total rebel, flipping tables on the enemy? Did you ever try to further improve how fast you punch people through the roof? Oh, was there ever any certain time when you thought brute force and style combined? Well, I guess now it's time to shine, 'cause finally she's here. Here comes Vine.
Come with the counterfeits at the bottom. So, visual very close.
Well, fantastic timing right there.
Yeah.
Right as the video ends, the pause comes through. Man, I've got to say, I'm impressed.
Hopefully the issues for the Mindfreak boys have subsided, although it looks like Elise is just chilling out in the mid lane, so not sure if Carbon has reconnected here, but this is why the game is sort of slow. Mindfreak don't want to make a move because people are having connection issues. So
Yeah, and it's the most unfortunate thing as well, because Mindfreak clearly in the lead here, 15 kills to 8, and a big gold lead. They're 2 towers ahead as well, and all the pressure is in their favor. They got the Baron as well, so we'll see if their issues are sorted out here. You can see Choo Choo's pushing up this bottom lane again, getting that one ready for a rotation out of Mindfreak, and honestly, their play has been amazing.
yeah, you can see that still Carbon in bits of trouble here. Avant-Garde turtling this one out until Mindfreak make the move.
Well, we'll see if Carbon can get out of this one. See if he can move. That's the challenge for him right now. A little bit unfortunate. And there we go. He's on his feet again. Hopefully it's all good for him.
They're moving now towards try and
Whoa,
finish this
Zed's
one.
jumping in actually. Profound gets the death mark. Choo Choo's forced to jump out of the fight. Zephyrus going to have to run as well. That was an interesting little engage. Didn't really work out for Mindfreak.
Yeah, Mindfreak though still wanting to push and finish this one. The 2 GAs available for them. And Elise just repelling there. Still having connection issues, unfortunately, for them.
Well, question is, can they win at 4v5? Honestly, it's going to be very tough right here. And AV doing a good job of turtling right now. We'll see how Nex fares right here. He's so tanky on that Renekton.
Yeah, you can see that Avant-Garde's turtling is just going to ride this one out, and Carbon there moving around into position. They're trying their best to get some kind of a fight go here.
Well, you got to remember, of course, Intrepid on that Ziggs, lots of wave clear, able to stall out this one for a long time. Wall's going to be cleared, and obviously Mindfreak not really pushing this one as much as they'd like. His shots, Carbon rather is having those connection issues, which is really unfortunate. It's kind of impossible to even see how this game will unfold when you have such a unusual problem as connection.
Choo-Choo's being aggressive on there though. The Cocoon lands on the Profound. He uses the Lantern to get away.
Yeah, easy escape from that fight. And it looks like they might want to fight this one over the wall. We saw some engages from Choo-Choo's where he used the death mark over the wall for a quick assassination. Not going to be the case though. They're just going to back off, secure more of that jungle.
Yeah, and really what can Mindfreak do is what Mindfreak can do is try their best to penetrate the defenses of Avant-Garde here. There's a lot of defensive abilities though that Avant-Garde have in their disposal. The box as well as the Flay on Thresh makes it very hard for them to engage, especially under a turret. So Teal's also finishing that Mikhail's Crucible is going to keep people alive for a lot longer. Carbon now chilling out around the Baron. Looks like that Mindfreak want to take this one away really quickly and subtly. Of course, Avant-Garde not really afraid to venture away from their base at the moment. It will be easy for Mindfreak to pick up.
So this is one big advantage for Mindfreak is that, with AV in turtle mode, they get free Barons right here and they take that one out pretty quickly as well. Huge creep wave in the top lane actually, so Mindfreak might want to deal with that. They send Choo-Choos off to go and AoE that one down. It's going to slow down the push from Mindfreak for a little bit, but they're still looking strong.
In the mid lane push now coming out with the Baron buff. Carbon at the front, and Choo-Choo's has actually gone to the side lane here up and top to clear out some of the minions and relieve that pressure. The Cocoon lands though onto Nex. Nex in a lot of trouble. He just starts a fight. Choo-Choo's
It's a 4v5 though. Nex in big trouble. Shots flashes out. He's in the back now and he can put the damage down for the AD carry. Nex on the run. Big dive from Zephyrus into there as well. Taking the tower. Will he get taken out? Is the question. He runs. He gets taken out, but not after a double kill. Huge fight for Mindfreak. They pick up 3 kills.
Choo-Choo's isn't even there. If he joins the fight, he could just easily delete the other 2 members of Avant-Garde. They will pick up this inhibitor for sure, maybe even close out the game.
Well, Inhibitor will go down. Lots of death timers here for AV. Over 30 seconds for 2 members right here. Choo-Choo's tanking the tower to push this one, and Profound can't get in onto it. Are they going to get the second tower? They will. Second Inhibitor, it will be exposed. Intrepid gets absolutely melted, and it's Carbon that picks up the kill. No! Zhonya's comes out, and Intrepid is still alive. Can he get to the base?
Nope.
No, he gets taken out. Profound almost does as well, but he survives. Choo-Choo's picks up the kill there onto Intrepid. Nexus turrets are going down. First is dead, second will fall, and this will be game 1 going over to Mindfreak for sure.
Well played to Mindfreak, a great early game into the mid and finishing this one off. Choo-Choo's the star of the match for sure. In that mid lane, a lot of pressure onto Intrepid playing that Ziggs. Well played to both sides, and Mindfreak definitely deserved the win out of that one.
Absolutely, and I gotta say, what a relief for Mindfreak. With a scare from those connection issues. They get back in to the game, they win a fight, they take the Baron, they win the game.
So now Avant-Garde going into game 2, going to change their plan immensely, as they will be on the blue side. We'll have to see what they ban out as the next game is coming up very soon, place.
Alright, we'll be right back in a minute, guys. Don't go anywhere, because we've got game 2 coming up very soon.